Hello, and welcome to the Presenter Mastery Podcast. I'm Lucas, CEO of Headgain and amateur speaker.
And I'm David, the public speaker.
And together, we're your weekly guides to unlocking the power of presentation skills. In today's episode, we're diving into a couple of questions that we received inside of our Presenter Mastery program. And we are deciding to share this on the podcast so that more can take part of the answers.
Oh, it's a Q&A.
Yes. So I think we have 3 questions today that I'll be sharing. I'll be asking the question and you, David, get the honor of answering. So the first question comes in from Josephine. I would love to hear tips and suggestions on which techniques we should focus on the most and what aspects are particularly worth considering in situations they may not be a straightforward presentation. I'm thinking that many techniques are valuable, but which ones are the gems? How can we become even more proficient in situations that can't be fully prepared, but instead requires adapting to what unfolds in the room?
Okay. I think it's 12 letters, storytelling.
Oh,
I think that's got 12 letters, maybe, something. I'm not counting them. But anyhow, that's the answer. That's the answer to this question. You will get away with any situation with a good story. Yeah. It could be a meeting, it could be a dining situation, it could be a presentation, it could be a spontaneous speech at the wedding. And you're like, I remember 2016. John, you did the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. All right, so we're walking down the street and John, and people are like, wow, I like this, I love this, I'm listening. Yeah. So storytelling.
Yep.
There we go. That's the answer. And we don't need to complicate this anymore, really, because storytelling wins.
Yeah.
It'll get you out of most situations.
Nice. Well, thank you. You started on, I think this is a past, present, future formula for the story, right? Yes? Is that correct?
Yeah. Past, present, future is a great storytelling structure where you go, what did it start with? Like what's the past of it? What's happening? And what will the future look like? And you can do that in a presentation as well. If you're somebody just throws a question at you, you can go, all right, well, let's try it, Lucas. I'll just pick something now. And this is not rehearsed, so we can truly smoke him. Okay, we're going to talk about, I want you, Lucas, to give me a quick presentation on electrical cars.
Ooh, well, did you know that actually, I think it was really in the 1920s, they invented the electrical car? I had no idea. I just found out. And apparently they've been around for so long, but they were succeeded and, well, the gas consumption, I'm not sure what you call it, but the new car, I'm losing myself, but the petrol car came and dominated the market.
Yeah.
And then suddenly,
Big oil
took over the world, right? And now we've moved into present day where electrical cars are resurfacing. But not in the way that they are slower. Now electrical cars are coming in the way that they are fast. They're built to be equal to the bad cars. And now they're seen as the great cars.
Yeah.
And when we are moving forward, I think in like 10, 15, 20 years, it's really going to be interesting. Will there be more electrical cars than the other type of cars? Or will it just be equal? Or will there be no cars? I'm really curious as to what it actually unfolds to. What I'm seeing is probably we'll have way more electrical cars than the other type of cars in 10 to 20 years.
I believe you are correct. All right, so here you hear Lucas delivering a presentation on electrical cars from the structure called past, where he spoke about the 1920s, the present, how it's now, they're faster, they're better, and then the future of what will it look like, it will overtake the world. So yeah, that structure is just brilliant to get away with content quickly. Okay, so we have storytelling, we have past, present, future. Let's do one more answer to this question, and it's a bit of a unexpected answer.
Oh.
Don't talk at all. Just ask questions. Because those questions, or the answers to those questions, if you're good at asking questions, it will build the content for you. Yeah. You'll get a dialogue going. you'll challenge them, here and there, or left or right or center, and then that challenge will lead to this and that, and then you'll note something on the whiteboard or the flip chart, and you just keep them going by asking good questions of what they think about it, or somebody else may have an answer to it. There's been a couple of times on stage when I've been dumbfolded by a question that I didn't know. They ask a question from the audience. I don't know the answer to it because it's more related to them. But maybe I should have known the answer, but I just didn't. So a technique to handle that is a great question. I would like to know the answer to that. I wish I did, but I don't. But I'm very certain that somebody in here does. Right? Can I see a raise of hand? How many of you know the answer to this question? 9 people raises their hand. I take the one that is closest to me, the most trustworthy looking person. Rarely don't pick the people at the far end of the room. Right? Statistics show that they are most commonly more reserved and even to a more negative nature than the people at the very front. So like when you pick spontaneous questions and interactions with the audience, front.
Bonus tip right there.
Yeah, and then you go, all right, can you give us the answer? And the person goes, la, 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 la. That's great. Okay, one more perspective, yours. Blah, 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 blah. Great! That's the answer to it. Asking questions is a great way of building content.
Yeah. Love the sound effect. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry.
Spoke very quickly. Fast forward.
Last question on this topic, because it formed a scenario in my head of a person doing a full keynote just based on asking questions. Is that a format that has been done? Have you seen that done?
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't work exactly like I told you now, but it would. I have seen it. I have colleagues who've just gone in and they've just done. They go like, I'm not going to go my normal script. I want to give you what you need. So, what are your questions? Right? And then maybe they've done one of these Mentometer things where they pop up on the screen and they pick them and they get to vote which one do they want to know the best.
So it's kind of a reverse Q&A in a way where you ask them questions and then that unfolds to the next level and then see where it ends up, which is interesting as a concept.
I did that once in the Netherlands, actually. I did one keynote in the morning, like just before lunch, for 300 people working. It was on a small island outside of the Netherlands. It was so beautiful. So 300 people did the keynote. It worked as it always did. Applause, laughter, yada, yada, yada. Right? I think it was fun. Maybe it was a 7, an 8, maybe even a 9. It was good. And then we had another presentation planned after lunch. And then for some unknown reason, we did that in a Q&A style. So this time we sat down and I was just on a chair and they got to ask questions. And that shit was phenomenal. Just amazing. Because the questions were so specific, they were so spot on, and my answers to them were just also spot on. So I just felt that I gave so much more value in that Q&A than I did in the standard format of a keynote. Harder? Yes. Do you need to be more well-rehearsed, or not well-rehearsed, but more competent? Yes. But, woo. So that format is...
Yeah, it puts you on the spot.
Amazing. Yeah, it does.
Ask me anything.
Ask me anything.
Nice. All right. Thank you. We're moving on to the next question sent in from Michael. The audience that you are supposed to deliver a presentation to are chatting, talking to each other about the weekend and other important things. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this situation. So what do? Do you simply wait? Do you raise your voice or ring a bell? How can you get the attention of the audience? Most probably there is more than one solution to this, and perhaps even serving different approaches, which might help your talk based on which hormone or feeling you want to induce at the very beginning.
Wow. Okay. I love this one. Okay. I've got one amazing tip on this one. I'm saving that for the end.
Oh,
okay. Let's instead begin with just saying this. It is so important that you assert dominance from the beginning. right? This is your place. Emil, who's here somewhere, I don't know where he is, but he's our technician, so he's recording this podcast. He's the perfect example of this, to assert dominance when people are talking. All right, so we have we've got a workshop here at the JP Manor, and we're going to play a game in the kitchen, right? And it's a fairly complicated game, requires quite a lot of rule reading, so you can easily get lost in it. It's one of Emil's favorite games, right? And he's usually the game leader. And so he's sitting there and he's reading out these instructions. There's like 10 people there. And then there are 3 people who are by far higher in the social hierarchy than he is. Like far, far, far. They are guests. They are consultants. They're the rock stars of the evening, right? He's there. He's reading instructions. They refuse to stop talking. He goes, just get his entire hand into the table. Bam! Things fly around. And he looks at them with a stern eye and he goes, "Do you want to play? Then be quiet." And this Emil, who's like, he's not big. He's never made a noise in front of these guys before. They're just gobsmacked. They're like, "Sorry, we're listening now." To assert dominance can be done in various ways. This, he had their respect for the rest of the weekend. Okay, so various ways to do that is obviously stand up there and just, doesn't matter who that person is. Do not see them as equals. See them at, this is your territory. This is what you own. So you go, "Excuse me, sorry." And then you just increase that loudness of your voice and the gaze of your eyes until you have their attention and they quiet down. You have to own that. Don't back away. This is your territory. And you can say things like, hey, by the respect for the others, is it okay if we begin? Yeah. And you can just start off softly and then build up, of course. You don't have to go full Emil aggressive style. You can just build up softly.
It needs to be appropriate, yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to say that. Assert dominance to begin with. Very important. Another one is if you do a raise of hands and you ask, how many in here has an iPhone? And there's 500 people there and literally 20 are raising their hands. Something's wrong, right? Because 50% of them obviously has an iPhone. You have to assert dominance. When you communicate and ask things from your audience, you have to show your boss. So you go, surely, it can't only be 20 of you who has an iPhone. Come on, let me see it. All right? Another bunch. I again believe that some of you are still not raising your hand. Please, all of you who has an iPhone, for the respect of this example, please raise your hand. You just keep at that with a nice, positive, respectful tone. Don't lose that battle, right? So just keep on. It's a very important part of asserting dominance from stage, because then they will respect you for the rest of whatever is needed. Okay, then we're going to come to the a second option to this, instead of just saying it to them, is look at the person to the left on them, which has the highest social status compared to them. So imagine there's a group of 3 talking. You know that the person to the left is a manager. Look at them, give them a nod, look at the others. The manager will now understand to give them a nudge to be quiet. Okay, so use another person's social status to get them quiet. Even if that person isn't a manager, you can still ask a person who looks like they may have a higher social status. A tall person, a big person, or an aggressive looking person. Just look at them. Look at the aggressive looking person. Look at them. Look at the group. Look at the aggressive person again, and just go. Just give them a nod. Just give them a bump, and the aggressive person will go bump. You got it. Okay. So that's another option. Now my favorite option, which I said in the beginning that I was going to give you at the end, comes here, and it is controlling the environment to begin with. So imagine that you have a presentation coming up. It's going to start at 2:00. You're there at 1:45 just to prep, fix your flip chart, check your whiteboard or whatever, your slides, turn on music. The music, in this case, has two purposes. One, to set the mood of the people coming into the room. Brilliant. I always use music. Literally 100% of all my cases, I use music. So people come into whatever, dire straits, and you can see the upbeat is coming into them. You change the atmosphere in the room. They sit down, and you can hear them chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting. And now the time is 2:00, and you press pause. And now it is absolutely and crystal clear that it has begun. Never or very rarely fails. There you go. Done.
Beautiful. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the dopamine drip here. There is one thing that is in particularly very good, but I'll save it to the end.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good comment on dopamine.
Yeah.
Yeah, to, in a presentation, create dopamine, because that will get people stuck.
Correct.
And listening.
All right. Final
Ooh,
question.
one more?
Yes,
One more?
we have one more. It's from Katarina. And she wrote, can you tell us how to own the room? Using body language, entering the room, creating other feelings, whatever it is. What are the skills you see fit to own the room?
Wow, that's a big question. I will spontaneously answer that there are certain skills among the 110 which will assert more dominance than others. Okay, and there are two versions of this. Either you can come in as the person who looks inviting. Okay, if you look like an inviting person, like a person who people want to hang out with, that is one version of owning the room. The second version is literally coming in with two bodyguards, and you frown and you look angry and pissed off. Both of them will own the room. Just two very different versions. So I remember this particular guy. I was at the gym. I was living in Alingsås at the time, which is a small, beautiful city in Sweden. And at that gym, I was probably 25 when I was going to that gym, 24, 25. There was a guy, and he was maybe 40 at the time. Well built, fantastic physique. You could see, he doesn't live at the gym, but he enjoys going to the gym, right? He has this beautiful smile on his face whenever he sees someone, and even during, like when he's doing his exercises, he just lands in a little bit of a smile, and he says hello to people, and he comes up and he helps them out, and so on and so forth. He absolutely owned that gym. He didn't own it, like specifically monetarily, but he owned it. And then there were two other guys, which were just absolutely massive, beefs. They had these, I don't know what you call those, the very, very small T-shirts which lack arms. What do you call that? Tank top. Tank top, something like that.
Yeah.
You could see every muscle that they had. And wherever they walked, they looked like they wanted to kill something. Yeah? But they were nice guys. When you spoke to them, they were nice. But they also dominated the room. Okay, so they dominated by looking stern, by looking big, by walking like they own the room, big steps, taking place, not really caring too much. This is my spot. I'll just throw the barbells down. I'll sound a lot. I'll scream if I need to, if I want to. They took their place. Right. So in all of that you can do you can't do all of this at a party. You can't go in maybe just walk in and screaming. But you can go into a party. You can walk assertively. Long steps, slow steps, strong gaze. Whoever you walk up to, you don't even flinch. You say who you are. You respectfully talk to them. But it all comes down to slow movements, strong posture, slow but long stride, always with an assertive gaze. They always know where they're going. Whoever they meet, again, they don't flinch. They don't back down. They don't show weakness. Like pretty much James Bond, right? When he walks into a room. I'm not talking dominance like the barbell guys. You know, this is a bit softer. Okay. And then you have my first example of the guy who comes into this party or this girl with this great smile, with this maybe not as like assertive walk, but still a confident walk, maybe a little bit flimsy, looking around, you know, enjoying the paintings, looking up into the ceiling, just throwing away a compliment, you know, to the right and to the left and to the right again, and then walking up and laughing and smiling. I think that's a fantastic version of owning the room. Me and Marcus, a friend of mine, we had this experiment. So we went to a pub, or what do you call that? It's like a club, but pre-setting. It's like a cocktail bar, probably. Yeah, cocktail bar. So we're there, and we're sitting there and we're chatting, and sometimes he laughs. You know, he laughs quite a lot, and he's like a magnet to people, right? So he laughs a bit, and I can see people in the room looking in his direction. Okay, and he's a little bit of a Bond character. He walks smoothly, throws away a compliment, and he's got these nice eyes. Just an inviting personality. Okay, and then I said, should we do a social experiment? Let's laugh, both of us, like not hysterically, but we'll do a joke, we'll laugh, we'll just intensify that sensation, and then we'll smile a lot. And we'll see how many minutes it takes until somebody approaches us. And we'll just see. Okay? Until this time, nobody had really approached us. You know, somebody looked in his direction specifically. And we did this, and within 15 minutes, we were invited over to a table. And that just carried on. And we had, I think we were there were like 10, it just kept on filling, you know, with people around this table, because our laughing was contagious to them. So it was literally like they saw the guys at the bar, they were laughing, that was attracting attention. They brought us to their group, we got them laughing, that attracted attention. It was like a magnet. It was just smiling and laughing, giving compliments and being confident but a little bit flimsy. It's just a freaking amazing combination, my man.
Nice. I get happy just hearing about it.
Yeah, it's.
I see it on you as well. You're extruding of this joy from this moment.
Oh yeah, I've got one more example as well. So this Christmas, I have a Santa suit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had our extra grandma sew this Santa suit. So it's a proper.
It's a proper suit.
It's a proper suit.
It's not the Santa Claus costume that you buy. It's a suit. It's a jacket. It's a pants. It's with the what do you call it? Lapels. The thing on the front of the jacket, or the fluffy one. So
it's got everything.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary.
If again, Santa would have been Bond, this is the suit he'd worn, tailored to me. So I did this experiment. I've done it. You know, I think I've worn this like 3 or 4 Christmases now. But so this Christmas, when as soon as I see anyone, so I went to a place called XXL, trying out shoes, and this chap who works there comes to me, and he goes like, "Are you finding any shoes?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like this. And he looks like, you got you're Santa, and I'm like, I am, at least I'm helping him. So what do you want? What are you wishing for this Christmas? And he's like immediately a little bit puzzled, but he goes like, well, a jacket. I'd like a jacket. And I'm like, which jacket would you want? Oh, it's a Björn Borg jacket. Ooh. It's like a Björn Borg jacket. Okay, what color do you want? Brown. I'd love it brown. I'm like, wow, that would look great on you. I will make a note and see what happens. This guy is like 30, but I made his day. He's like, there may be a chance.
He must have went to look in every direction. Where's the camera? Is this a Mr. Beast thing?
Yeah.
Where's the...
That was so funny. And then I went into another place, and this woman is standing there just fixing the shelves. And I walk up to her and I say, if you got to wish for a Christmas present this year, what would it be? And she's like, a happy husband, or a diamond necklace. I'm like, that is, I don't know if I can do a diamond necklace, but I think I can do a happy husband. I'll make a note and I'll just wish you a great and fantastic Merry Christmas. And I just popped off. Came back after Christmas and I'm there. She approaches me and she goes, he was happier. Thank you. And that is, that is owning the room. That is owning the entire boutique.
Yeah.
That is, and the way that I do that is by just confidence, slow movements, assertive stance, and caring about people. Yeah. There you go. Bunch of examples on that.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you for this episode. It was really nice sitting and chatting with you as always. And for you listening, if you would like to get the opportunity to ask questions like this, you should have a look at presentermastery.com/apply. That's where you'll find all the information about the Presenter Mastery program, get information about our community, and see if this is a fit for you. If not, just keep listening. We'll be here to inspire you every single week. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.